Now we come to the gentlewoman from California, Ms. Porter, who is recognized for 5 minutes of questioning.
Mr. Chair, I would like to enter into the record the testimony of David Dixon from Rancho Santa Margarita, a town in my district in Orange County.
Without objection, it is entered.
David Dixon and his husband were foster parents while living in Georgia, and were told on several occasions that they were not receiving calls for placement because they were a, quote, non-traditional family, quote. Mr. Dixon and his husband were finally able to have children placed with them, but then when they wanted to adopt these foster youth, the foster care system dropped David and his name from all the paperwork. Only his husband was able to formally adopt the children. He was no longer recognized as their parent and had to fight to be added as a second parent, an experience that he describes as, quote, humiliating and frightening, unquote. Mr. Sloan, could you elaborate for me about how prospective LGBTQ parents have faced unnecessary discrimination while adopting children from religious organizations?
Yeah, thank you for asking this question. We hear this all the time. There are stories constantly of applications to foster or to adopt being shuffled to the bottom of the pile and just running into their peers from the classes, and all of their peers had, who were straight, have kids and they still don't.
Absolutely. I want to make sure the committee is aware of data from the UCLA Law School showing that significantly more LGBTQ parents are raising an adopted or fostered child compared to male and female couples. Male-female couples. Assuming this trend continues, I have serious concerns that we will have children who will not be adopted or fostered when there are prospective loving parents who are ready and able to raise them. And the reason that these kids will not be fostered or adopted is because of discrimination under the protection of the religious freedom rule. Mr. Sloan, what do you think makes good characteristics in an application for foster parents? And do you have any concerns that you would have for prospective parents who identify as LGBTQ?
No, actually, LGBTQ parents and the children of those parents are shown consistently to rank equal, if not above, in classic determinators like high school graduation, college graduation, emotional stability. So I have zero concerns about LGBTQ people being able to parent. We are also sitting on the future millennial, 63% of millennial LGBTQ people plan on forming families. Mm-hmm. And so the pool for placements for children will grow. And if we have discrimination, the 20,000 kids who age out every year will not be finding homes.
And I just want to emphasize and get your thoughts on how these religious freedom rules are creating an economic issue. So I wonder if any of you have thoughts, starting with you, Mr. Sloan, about how there's a real cost to taxpayers, not to mention the very real human costs that come because more children remain in foster care or adoptive services because of the religious freedom rule.
Yeah, so the costs are exponential, and they don't simply stop when a child ages out of the foster care or the child service system. Children who do not find placement and do not get adopted are much more likely to become incarcerated or to live in extreme poverty, remaining a burden on our system, and at the same time as they are the real victims.
Yeah, I just want to hold up again for the witnesses the picture of this amazing family that lives in my district. And when I came into the hearing earlier this morning, I have the privilege to sit next to my colleague, Representative Holland, and we are both single mothers. And so language about broken families or family being a man and a woman. I remember I wrote to Deb, what does that mean about our families that we are proudly raising? And so I just want to say that this fight, while it's very much a fight for the LGBTQ community, we also see a lot of the same kind of language and same kind of hostility to those who may be parenting alone. And so I want you to know, as the first single mother of young children to be serving in the U.S. Congress, that I am all in for loving families, and I don't like labels like traditional and non-traditional, because to me the only family that matters is a loving one.
Believe me, we're all in with you as well.
Thank you. I yield back.
All right. And